From full moon rises over snow-capped peaks to hiking through the fields of wild lupine, life goes on behind the scenes as we wrap up our van build with the installation of Matt's ingenious back of the van storage solution.
One of the things that really makes a huge difference for us living in a tiny space like this is that there's a place for everything and everything is in its place. After 3 years of traveling in Clarity One, when we realized we really needed a four-wheel drive and we're going to have to build out another van, I just immediately had a vision of exactly how I wanted to handle the storage in the back of the van, under the bed, and where the systems were going to go. This storage unit that I built for the back of the van was the last piece to get done after 6 months of doing this van, but I'm so happy with it and it functions beautifully. Before I show you that, I actually want to show you a few of the laundry list of items that we had to do before we headed out again. So one of those things was Christina asked if I could just put in a little hook for the pooper scooper for Ivy's litter box. And one was a hook for the whisk broom for the floor and the bed. So we've actually found that carrying a vacuum takes up too much space, and what we really used this for and what we really used the vacuum for was just to vacuum out the floor and around some little nooks and crannies. But the main thing is for sweeping off the bed, because Jessie jumps up here and gets dirt on the bed. So with this, all we have to do is just sweep the dirt off the back of the van and out the door. I know I'm showing my age here, but we actually like to travel with maps. One of the things I have is a United States atlas, and I don't know if you've ever tried to travel with those, but they're big. They're, a foot wide by, 16 inches high. And we had so many issues with that thing, putting it down next to the door, and then it would fall out when you'd open the door, or it would go down in between the seats and then it would get torn, and it's just always been a problem. So what I did is I just built this little rack for our atlases. Tripod storage. So I know it looks pretty bad, especially over here where it's thin white hair on both sides and everything, but hey, I love it. Do I really care what I look like? About this much. It's that time of year again. It's time for my annual haircut. What can I say? Christina always tells me it looks like a lawnmower went over it, but hey. Once a year, whether I need it or not.
I don't know how you trust me to do this. I know nothing about cutting hair.
I don't either.
I know. It's not like I could mess it up.
So seriously, I enjoyed having it long, and it was fun to grow it out. And I didn't want to cut it until after the show, which was last night. And now it's like, oh, it feels so good. And, maybe it looks pretty drastic, but in a couple of months, it'll fill out and it'll be fine. And it'll be great for, like I said, another year. So another one of those items is right here. I just built a couple little storage containers. This is for our toothbrushes and toothpaste. And this is for all of our tall utensils that don't really fit down in the silverware drawer. In the silverware drawer, I did a modification of a bamboo silverware holder that we already had so that we're able to fit our knives and our silverware and our you know, wine opener, things like that that often just sit in a big drawer in your kitchen, but we didn't have that kind of space. So this works out really well, and we still have room for our teas and our sweeteners. We also just bought some very low profile nesting bowls and a couple of small plates too that we can use that fit really nicely in here, and it also leaves space for our coffee making equipment. And here, all I really did is I painted these and put them back in so that our pantry and snack storage, and reorganized the drawers a little.
The spring lupin bloom was the perfect excuse to take Mom for a hike with us.
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow.
Oh, now I smell it. Oh, that lupin smells so good. It just permeates the air. And now for the actual storage unit for the back. What's really important for that is that I wanted it to actually tie in with the front of the van and complete the interior. And we needed to have a laundry chute, and we also needed a place for the dog food and the soda stream. My favorite thing. Ah, very nice. We even have room for our inflatable kayak, our shower curtain, table, chairs, and rug for the outside, compressor, levelers, cords, helmets, extra water pump, cocoa coir for the composting toilet, and a 5-gallon collapsible bucket. And we still have room for my tools. This is definitely the pièce de résistance of this van build. Building this all the way through the winter was trying, it was difficult, it took a long time. This was way more stressful and more difficult than it was to build Clarity One. But now it feels done. The little details are complete. Now we're ready to get out of this summer 99-degree temperature and head to the northwest where we can see some ocean and get cooled off a little bit. And we'll see you down the road.